CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jim Barry. Welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Here's a look at today's top stories, and we begin with the CBS News Miami investigation. State Representative Fabian Basabe accused of making unwanted sexual advances on a legislative aide and an intern. The allegations against the Miami Beach Republican are contained in a lawsuit filed yesterday. Already, they have triggered an investigation by the Florida House and prompted calls for Basabe to resign. We broke this story on CBSMiami.com right after that lawsuit was filed. Jim DeFeeti has been working on this story for weeks, and he's got all the details now.
Obviously, this was a waste of my time because you have no intentions of actually discussing issues that pertain to anything going on in my district right now. You just want to keep pushing this theater, this drama.
State Representative Fabian Basabe did not want to discuss the allegations of sexual harassment made by two of his former staffers. On Thursday, Nicholas Favola, who was Basabe's legislative aide, and Jacob Cutbirth, who was an intern for Basabe, filed a lawsuit describing in graphic detail what they say were various encounters involving Basabe, starting with a night just before the legislative session began when Cutbirth said he met Basabe for the first time at a bar in Tallahassee. In the lawsuit, Cutbirth alleges Basabe was drunk and was asked to drive the newly elected legislator back to his hotel. While Cutbirth was driving, Basabe began to physically touch and grope him and to grab at him to try to kiss him. Cutbirth found this touching to be offensive, and he told Basabe to stop touching him. When Cutbirth and Basabe arrived at Basabe's hotel, Basabe attempted to entice Cutbirth to come up to his hotel room with him to have sex. Cutbirth refused. Cutbirth recognized that Basabe was intoxicated, and he believed that when Basabe became sober, he would be embarrassed by his behavior and refrain from engaging in such acts and comments in the future. A month later, on January 24, 2023, Cutbirth was hired as an unpaid intern, working for Basabe at the Capitol 2 days a week. Cutbirth believed the invitation to serve as Basabe's intern was an apology for the offensive touching and comments that Basabe had engaged upon him on December 15, 2022. But within a week, Cutbirth said Basabe started making inappropriate sexual comments. Basabe stated that Cutbirth was eye candy. On several occasions, Basabe called Cutbirth into his office and told Cutbirth that he needed to flirt with him while he was in the office. Basabe told Cutbirth that he should not marry his girlfriend, fiancée, because the marriage would never last, and that Cutbirth should explore his sexuality by having sex with men. On February 21, 2023, Basabe showed Cutbirth and Nicholas Favola a photograph of a naked man on his phone. Basabe's comments allegedly grew even more explicit regarding sex. Because Cutbirth found Basabe's pervasive sexual harassment and comments to be offensive to him, he quit as Basabe's intern that same day, March 7th, by walking out of the office and never returning. While interning at the Capitol, Cutbirth also worked at a local bar. The owner, Carl Bengston, told us that Cutbirth discussed with him Basabe's behavior as it was happening. "It takes a lot for my skin to crawl," he said, and it was making my skin crawl. Bengston, who is gay, said he warned Cutbirth that Basabe's actions seemed predatory and that Cutbirth should try to get himself another internship. The suit also provides an account of an alleged incident at North Beach Elementary. On December 20, 2022, while Basabe and Nicholas Favola were at North Beach Elementary for the school's career day and standing in the back of a classroom full of children, Basabe stated to Nicholas Favola, "I want all of that butt." And then Basabe touched Nicholas Favola's buttocks by slapping it with his hand, which Nicholas Favola found offensive and which was without his consent. Both Cutbirth and Favola say that they didn't know what they could do or how to report Basabe's behavior because he made both of them sign non-disclosure agreements when they went to work for Basabe. Cutbirth and Favola provided CBS Miami and the Herald copies of the NDA they claim Basabe made them sign. Did you sexually harass Nick Favola?
Of course I did not. This is getting a little bit ridiculous. And if he had any other false accusations to make in the months that he had to make them, I think he should have done so.
Last week, CBS Miami asked Basabe about some of the claims made by Frivola and Cutbirth. Did you discuss sex with him? Did you show him naked pictures of men? Did you ask him the type of sex he has with his girlfriend? Anything like that?
This is getting ridiculous, Jim. I've given you time, and I understand that this is kind of the way you do your show, but taking time and attention away from the mission at hand, which is a lot of hard work that affects a lot of people, is really offensive.
Who is Jacob Cutbirth?
There was a Jacob that was a friend of his that was an intern at some point.
According to Jacob, he says that you also sexually harassed him. You asked him questions. You said things like, and again, it could have been misconstrued that
he's supposed to flirt with you. Here's what I'm going to do. If you're going to just take accusations from people who already, this is part of that team, who've already been proven to misrepresent things and have no one to corroborate it, I'm just going to end this because I'm not going to give this any more time. I actually thought that you were sincere and interested.
I am sincere. I'm trying to give you an opportunity.
This is not. You know what you can do with that? You can do exactly what you did last time and let it get out there and have your fun with it.
Did you ever try to kiss or grope Jacob?
I'm not interested in this line of questioning, but I appreciate that that's what you'd like to have to get your show some attention at my expense. I appreciate it.
Now, attorneys for Cutbirth and Frivola say the law firm hired by House Speaker Paul Renner to investigate the claim that Basabe slapped Frivola were told about the sexual harassment allegations weeks ago, but took no action. The attorneys even offered to provide investigators sworn statements, but the attorneys say their offer was ignored. CBS News Miami's Joe Gorcha will have the very latest on this story tonight at 5 p.m.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
Here's a live look outside. Showers and storms rolling through South Florida, cooling us off after another day of record heat. Let's find out if we'll get a break this weekend from Chief Meteorologist Ivan Cabrera. Ivan.
Yeah, I think we're going to start, Jim, the same way tomorrow. We're going to have record heat likely once again, and then we'll get into some cooling afternoon thunderstorms. Sunday's a different story. We'll talk about that, but there it is. The heavy rain continues now from Plantation. This cell extends through Lauderdale Lakes and up towards Lighthouse Point. In fact, Deerfield Beach has been seeing some heavy rain, although the worst of it there across right along the county line has improved, but still, because of additional rainfall that we've had, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches over the last few hours. The flood advisory continues there until 5:15 for street flooding. So if you can avoid the trip for another half hour, I think we'll be in better shape. But we do have more storms that are going to be on the way. And the camera shot that we just showed you there, that is downtown Miami crossing the bay and out towards the beach, where we continue with some pockets of heavy rain and also a few embedded lightning bolts as well. That also has now extended south and west to include places like South Miami, Coral Gables there, getting in on the action. But everything begins to wind down. Watch the clock there between 6 and 8 o'clock. We're going to have a significant, waning of these thunderstorms. So if you have evening plans, I think you're still going to be okay. May have to dodge them if they're early enough, and then we'll quiet things down as we hit through the rest of the evening with rain chances coming down as well, along with the temperatures, which, by the way, today, a brutal day. Look at the numbers here. These are still feels like temperatures at this hour. We've been in between storms, so Miami is still at 107. That is definitely heat advisory criteria, so the heat alert continues until 7 o'clock. But look at Fort Lauderdale, where it has been raining, 88 right now. Obviously, rain cool there, and we're still the actual air temperature at 94. We hit a high of 97 today. That was a record for today, and it's the warmest temperature of the year. And you have to go back to July 2020. That was the last time the airport hit 97. So obviously a heat wave underway, and this continues tomorrow with the southwest wind. But also for tomorrow, we'll have enough moisture that we'll have plenty of showers and storms through the afternoon. Coverage about 50%, so it's not going to be a rain out, but we need that rain because then we really get into an extended period here of dry conditions because of the Saharan air that's going to be moving in. There's your Saturday forecast with showers and storms through the afternoon before then things wind down into the evening, and we start shutting the rain chances down as we head into the upcoming week. So get ready for that. So the weekend will go like this: 50% coverage tomorrow with showers and storms, and then about not much on Sunday, 20%, and we'll stay about there with these plumes coming in from the Saharan dust, keeping our temperatures as well in the mid-90s.
All right, Ivan, thanks a lot. We'll have to get through it. When we come back, Twitter fires back. Why the social media giant is now threatening to sue a new rival. That story when Quickcast returns. And welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. A mother and father are now locked up in Lakeland. Their arrest comes after their 18-month-old daughter died after being left in a hot car for 8 hours. The parents claim their signals got crossed. Joel and Jasmine Rondon, both 33 years old, now face charges of aggravated manslaughter. A federal judge ruled that former President Donald Trump can be deposed in a wrongful termination lawsuit brought by a former FBI agent. Peter Strzok is suing the Justice Department for his firing after the Russia investigation. Strzok's lawsuit alleges Trump's political vendetta against him led to his firing. The Justice Department has argued Trump's public attacks were not why Strzok was let go. The former president has denied any wrongdoing. Meantime, Governor Ron DeSantis' presidential campaign says it raked in $20 million over the past 6 weeks. The campaign says this amount is the most any non-incumbent Republican candidate has raised in more than a decade. Meantime, former President Trump's campaign staff says it raised $35 million over the same time frame. A status hearing, meantime, is expected for former social media model Courtney Clenny. Clenny is charged with second-degree murder. She's accused of stabbing and killing her boyfriend in April of 2022. Clenny has pleaded not guilty and is awaiting trial. Elon Musk taking a legal swing at rival Mark Zuckerberg's new social media platform. Musk's lawyers sent a cease and desist order to Meta to stop using what Musk calls Twitter trade secrets in the new app. Threads, Musk's legal team accuses Meta of hiring former Twitter employees who, quote, had and continue to have access to Twitter's trade secrets and other highly confidential information. Meta claims there are no former Twitter employees on the Threads engineering team. Well, the power of CBS 4 News and CBS News Miami stream are always at your fingertips. We're on Pluto TV, and of course, it is all free. Or find us on your favorite streaming device with the CBS News app, then click CBS News Miami. That is CBS News Miami's Quickcast. I'm Jim Barry. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS Miami.